Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being on my channel where we are talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And I want to talk today about fighting for your future after narcissistic abuse, right? When we go through any transformation in life, leaving a relationship, leaving a job, retirement, parenting, empty nesters, dating again, losing weight. Change is like something complicated for the human being, right? And so even if we're in a situation where we are uncomfortable, sometimes we're scared to make change. And one of the things that really I think is missing in a lot of education is our need to do it, that we're born to evolve and change and grow, and that like you'll constantly be fighting yourself if you don't choose to fight for your future rather than stay in conflict with where you are. We know inside when anything isn't right. So the tools you're going to learn if you choose to evolve past the situation you're in are going to be some of the most powerful life tools of your life, right? My new group, Live Fully Now, is going to be focused on that. But like, I want you to understand that you have a choice, no matter how bad it is. If you say to the universe, to God, your creator, whatever you believe in, look, I'm not going to fight for my future. I'm too old now. Know that there's a version of you, right, that hasn't gone yet. So when you get to the end of your life, you're not going to regret probably as much that you made the most of the life you have now. You're going to regret that you didn't. The challenge is most of us haven't been given the tools. Yeah, we don't know how to handle transformation. We're scared of change. We're so scared of change that we'll cling on to unhealthy situations. So you have to choose to fight for your future. Can you do better than the situation you're in? You won't know for sure, right? And that's scary, right? I'm all right being broke because I can't take it being any worse than this, and I'm not sure I can make it any better because this and this and this and this, and I think I'm restricted by it. So like, being able to choose transformation and change means we do have to fight for a future that is better than our current reality. And we do have to start learning how to be capable of creating transformation in our life, which is totally available to you, but requires our cooperation in it, right? So God, the universe is like, yeah, there are other things available to you, but you can't see them yet. Why? Because you're operating in the level of consciousness that you are, and they require your elevation of consciousness into more potential and possibility than you're living. When we get very stuck, so trauma gets us stuck in the energy field and in our minds, we only see what's predictable. We only think the only possibility in the universe is the life I'm living, pretty much, or worse. That's fear. So you've got to fight for your future, a future that you don't know exists, a future that you don't think is guaranteed, except for when you understand how the universe works, quantum physics, transformation, the skills required, you won't feel so, it won't feel like such a risk. It will feel like something tangible that you can learn and evolve and grow through. And then you start feeling more in control of your life, right? So the thing is, in a narcissistic abuse cycle, it's such a disempowering, powerless place to be. Because, yeah, the narcissist does put you in a trap, always, like emotionally, financially, in any way they can. It's not going to be convenient to leave a narcissist, but it's never convenient to transform your life. This is what you've got to understand. So the same principles do apply as long as we heal trauma. What I learned from personal development totally applies anywhere, because you know what I was interested in was sustainable change when I was studying that for years, and it worked with peak performance in people. But what I didn't understand, the missing element, was trauma. That if you don't heal trauma, you've got an undercurrent in your life, believe that is so strong that things always go wrong, because the narcissistic abuse cycle is one of ups and downs. It's like constant negative change for the worse. So most human beings have a fear of change, right? Which they have to evolve past in order to create transformation in their lives. People from narcissistic abuse or any kind of high levels of trauma they also have like an even higher fear of change, because all they've got evidence for a lot of the time is change for the worst over and over again. So it's very difficult. I deal with things like fear of loss with people in my program Sovereign and my coaching. Like, it's very difficult to connect to, you know, sustainable change for the better. All change is going to feel like a risk, but believing that you could have a change for the better after a narcissistic abuse cycle is harder for the human mind, because you've got evidence that things just go worse. So I better just cling on to what I've got. The narcissist puts you in a survival program, and part of what you've experienced makes you want to cling on. But the thing is, when you're creating change, you've got to expand into more. You've got to expand into your potential, more possibilities available to you. It's an expanded space, not a contracted space. And it's if you just clinging so hard to what you've got because you're so scared of losing it, you're not going to easily risk playing for more in your life, which is a complete rock and a hard place. You see, I don't like where I am. I'm really unhappy. I'm going to need a high level of change, and the risk is so big. The trauma of going through another annihilation, which is what you're going to stay on the same plane of with a narcissist. It's just loss. It's just devastation. It's just destruction over time. But like, you know, the dealing with that fear, being able to transmute it. Because what I do in my work, I don't take you through every trauma you've ever been through. You do not need to do that to traumatize you. I am upset with people who are going into certain things and just living in their pain. You want to transmute energy so that you come into love, that you can connect to life again. When you connect to life again, you connect to potential and possibility. When you do that from integrity, your true values, your true needs, your true desires, your true self, your guidance system will take you where you need to be, and you will be able to move through change differently. This is what we've got to understand. Are you going to have to fight for your future? Yes, but your job is to get yourself in a position where you're willing to do that. That's kind of like a beginning stage where you start connecting to possibility. I think I did mention in one of the videos, you know, my life looked so impossible. It looked so against the odds at certain points because I did have more disadvantages than what I could see other people having. Like, my life was so hard and I was trapped. I was a prisoner in these situations, and it was absolutely soul destroying. I knew that I'd have to create change. I didn't research how bad it was, other people who were also going through hell. And actually, when I did, some of them, honestly, their situation wasn't as difficult as mine, and they were finding it hard to break it. I started looking at movies, people that inspired me. There's one video I sent one of my clients once of this woman. She's such a sweetheart. But I mean, she went through a car accident. She lost a leg, but she got married. She was told she'd never have children. She got a baby. I started looking at impossible things happening for people's lives. I fueled my head with it. Evidence that people got through impossible things. By changing what I was looking at and being willing to embody what I needed to believe and heal in order to make that change, I changed my life faster than you can believe, from situations that looked completely dire. If you had to rate where I was on a scale, you know, it wasn't predictable that I'd get through it very easily. It wasn't logical what we can do when we actually heal the trauma, which is an energetic game. You've just got to shift and you've got to remove what's predominantly in your energy field, right? That's the quickest way I know to do that so far, is what I do in Sovereign, in terms of like energetic clearings, allowing your body to release what it can at its own pace. And while it's doing it, you change. You don't wait to heal before you change your life. You understand that healing is an ongoing process that you can navigate. Most of us are compounding our emotions. It's like, I'm not just scared that I'm scared. I'm frustrated that I'm scared. I'm angry that I'm scared, rather than letting the body process the fear. I'm not just anxious, I'm also annoyed that I'm anxious. We compound. And then instead of letting our bodies do the job it needs to do, we look at, why am I feeling this? The most dangerous question in healing, if you're highly traumatized, why am I feeling this, before the body has chance to process it. When your body processes it, you'll either get an awareness of why, or maybe you won't even need to know, because your body needs to process emotions like we pee and poop, right? So like it needs to flush through the emotional experience naturally. When we start doing that, which is exactly what I teach you in Sovereign, as part of our day-to-day lives, then it automatically sheds what's already been stored. It's no longer clogged up, it's freed up, right? And then you can start having a healthier experience of life. Then you can reprogram your mind. Then you can cling on to better affirmations, belief systems that will work for you, but you can't paper over something that's completely clogged and the foundation's off. So like, the healing, asking, so many people start with me and they'll be like, well, I don't know why I'm so angry, and why? Stop asking why. Let the body process the emotions. You are a computer system with 100 tabs open that now can't open any systems because you're clogged up. So when your body starts doing this, it literally just starts cleaning the pipes. We're not supposed to be forcing and fixing. We're not supposed to be digging up memories that actually aren't what the body needs to do. Your body is wired to heal, but we haven't been taught how to emotionally allow that to happen. Later, when you're neutral, you can introspect and look at, what have I made things mean, so that I can now sort of rewire how I see things in order to support me going forward and creating the future I want. If you want to come into Sovereign, that is the foundation of not just healing, but then, how do you manifest at the end of it when you're cleared? And that's an ongoing process. And I've got Live Fully Now, which is like, how do you stay connected to I think a plug-in when you're rebuilding your life is so important. I wish I'd had that, because like, to keep on track, I had to self-do it, keep myself on track. And honestly, that's very difficult to do. It's not impossible. It's not impossible at all, but you have to be very disciplined in it. Whereas if you've got a plug-in that keeps you going, I think that would be very helpful for people. So contact me about those things. Listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, fight for your future. Don't fight for your past. Don't fight to fix what can't be fixed. Don't go into a loveless black hole. Fight for your future. You're only going to get whatever you think you are now, but your life is when you get a glimmer of what can be on the other side, it is not a question of why would you stay in that. You'll only question later, when you realise what you're actually capable of. Why didn't I do it sooner? Well, you didn't know. You didn't know, right? But you can know now. You can fight for a much better life now. At any point in our life, we wish we'd done the things that make us love life more sooner. We always will, because we want more time of how good life can be, and it can be good. Pain is part of the human experience, because some things will hurt us. We'll lose people we love. Some things will be tough for us. Suffering is not required. Staying with a narcissist keeps you in suffering, you see. Staying in cycles that don't serve us keep us in suffering. It is not a soul contract for you to be abused and in suffering in any way. Your soul is screaming at you to evolve. So now learn, now grow, now choose to fight for your future. Lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.